This is just a PSA if you're the type of guy that likes to ask women, what do you bring to the table, honey? Do not talk to me about
Here we
metaphorical
go.
tables if you don't even have a real one to eat off of. We could talk about furniture when you get a bed frame. So, men love to throw this question around.
Nice shaming. Great. Thank you so much. Excellent. Yeah, implying that all men can't afford bed frames and stuff like that. Like, what is this? No, you're choosing men that that can't afford bed frames. Like, excuse me?
Because they think that the minute it leaves their mouth and rides the wave of their bad morning breath, they are somehow entitled to everything we have built without building anything at all. Because
Okay, so apparently men have built nothing for society. False. And also, look at what you've memorized. Like, this girl's literally like reading from a script, or like has memorized this 1 minute script for her video. So just think about how many times she's had to practice in order to do this, right? Like, what does that say about the character of the person when this is what they're doing with their time? Like, you're wearing a football jersey that's like dirty, making a TikTok video with your hair not done properly. Like what's going on here? What conclusion are we supposed to draw? That you're a classy lady that we're supposed to listen to? Like everything that you say? I don't understand what my conclusion is supposed to be here. Are you the girl that brings stuff to the table, or aren't you? Like, do you have a bed frame? Like, are you clean and neat and organized and doing everything you're supposed to be doing? Because your shirt and your hair implies that you're not. So what exactly is going on here? You're attacking men while not being the paragon of women that you want to be. So I really don't understand.
posting on Instagram, oh, you want to make money doing cryptocurrency does not
Oh, so she's talking about the men that she's attracted to, which are the online business gurus on Instagram saying you want to make money off crypto. Yeah, that stuff is just inverted funnel stuff. But like, so sure, I'll give you that. But like, again, what are you talking about here?
make you a businessman. And whose table are we referring to anyways? Because my table is stacked. My table has everything I need and you are just a guest. I will be damned if I leave my hand-carved, handcrafted table to go to your Facebook Marketplace $50 frat house IKEA centerpiece.
So again, what she's saying is, I make more money than you, therefore I'm better than you. It's just hypergamy by another name. But she's also telling on herself, saying that she's only gone with guys like that. So again, what does it say about you? What does it say about you if you're going to the guy's house that has the IKEA table, right? Like, if you're actively telling on yourself, right? Like, the guys you're talking about are the ones that are, in your estimation, lower than you. So why are you giving them the time of day? That's what I want to know. Why are you not married with children, complaining about, how you have to fold laundry or, like do the duties of a mother, right? Like think about it this way. Like in, 40, 50 years ago, that's what you would be doing right now, not making TikToks, right? So how about you go and use your time properly instead of whatever it is that you're doing here?
Look, I do not audition. I am the role. I do not try out. I am the team. And the question should not be what I can bring to the table, but is the table well made? Does the table have a good foundation, or is the table always empty unless somebody has something to bring to it? Because if you want me to just come to your table and serve you what I've built, you got another thing coming.
I mean, all women, sorry, not all women, but many, many women think this way, right? Where, like, they think, I have a career, I have my own life, I have, an end count of 50 plus, like, I've done all these great things, I've traveled to all these countries, and if you don't have everything that I have and more, why should I ever want to be with you? That's women's logic in 2022. And, I mean, that's just hypergamy, right? And this girl is sounding like the kind of girl that has, become the kind of man that she wants, and now is not attracted to men anymore because they're not economically attractive. Like, I mean, what do you want us to do? Like, we can't fix that problem. You've created that problem for yourself, right? Like, if you want less problems, you should pick better men. All right, let's continue.
I was fortunate enough to get blessed with a man that can cut up in the kitchen, okay? So we were texting back and forth, and he asked me, what am I going to do for dinner? Well, I told him that I was probably just going to eat some pizza rolls. And this is what I get back from him. Look at that. That's his lunch / my dinner. Because he made like 6 pieces of fish, tons of shrimp, rice, and green beans. Let's roll. I can't deal with this man. He's so fine and he can cook. I'm gonna marry him, I swear to God I am.
Right, but here's the thing, right? Like, before, it was considered an asset for women to be able to cook, and so many women knew how, and they took pleasure in, supporting their man by cooking, right? That was a thing before, let's say in our grandmother's generation, right? Nowadays, these girls can't cook. All they can do is work, whereas men need to be able to work, cook, clean, be physically fit, be fine, make more money, be better in bed, etc. Right? So, again, it's no surprise to anyone that so many men are walking away, because what is this trade that we're making, right? We're supposed to accept that girls are just going to do nothing and we have to do everything? Is that the implication there? Like, I don't know about you, but I think that, like, we could want more than just a girl to have bedroom fun with, right? And that's the thing that like so many women today are failing to understand. We don't want another man in the house, another girl that works and supports the family by bringing in a paycheck. We want a helpmate. We want a girl to, cook and clean and be feminine and be supportive and, follow our program and be happy when we do things for them, etc. That's what we want, right? And so that 2022 has told women, you go girl, be strong and independent, basically be a man, like woman up. It doesn't do anyone any good. Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, please hit the sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me, I do have a Patreon with exclusive content. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just subscribe to any tier, any level of support is appreciated. And I did forget to mention this. It does help someone. It helps capitalism, right? Because capitalism, through this process, breaks up the nuclear family, and then there's more houses, there's more people that can be taxed. I understand the idea. It's breaking up the family for money. I get it. It's just, it doesn't actually help anyone, because all that does is it trades short-term money gains for long-term destruction of your civilization. So,
Alexa, can you remind my husband to clean the house today?
What time today should I remind you?
Whisper. 7 p.m.
I can whisper. I learned how after we...
oh my God.
Hey, somebody come get her, she dancing like a stripper. Hey, somebody come get her, she dancing like a stripper.
And then the dad is looking like, what? That perfectly describes 2022. The guy is like in the kitchen doing what he's supposed to be doing, and the girl is just off like getting attention from random men. That's like literally, that can perfectly describe what we're seeing in 2022. All right, let's continue.
Get a job. Get a job, get a job, get a job. Do not come to your lawyer's office in the middle of a divorce and say you don't want to work because you haven't worked in a few years or 10 years or 20 years. The courts are going to expect you to work. Get a job and support yourself. You will always get more money from yourself than you will from your spouse.
Okay. I'm not really sure what this is trying to say, except I guess it's trying to tell women like not to just steal money from their spouse in alimony and not work. Oh, okay, I see. The implication is that so many women, when they get divorced, they say they haven't worked in a few years, so they don't want to work, and they just want more money from the husband. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Many women can get away with that. Whereas, you think you can get away with that as a man? No, if you get divorced, you're going to have to work for the rest of your life, basically. Anyway, let's continue. Today is my 50th birthday. Say hi.
is much like having sex with a 20-year-old, but less likely to turn into child support payments.
No, it's really not, because men are not biologically hardwired to want to have bedroom fun with 50-year-olds. So, and then the fact that she mentioned child support payments, I mean, it says everything it needs to say, right? Like, and like, it means that she, like, probably did something like that in her past. Also, the fact that she had to put a black light when she's doing her video, like, I think it also says something, which is she didn't want you to see her when it was all well lit. Again, like, it's just any strategy to get as much attention as possible. All right, let's go to the article. Plate theory number 2, non-exclusivity. Women would rather share a high-value man than be saddled by a faithful loser. Okay. Real options are the cornerstone of confidence, so try not to think of it in terms of risk, as in you're risking the loss of a great girl. Most guys get to a point where game and plate spinning give them their first taste of real options to select from or fall back on when another doesn't pan out. The problem arises when they spin enough plates successfully to the point where they think they've maxed out their best option and the old scarcity mentality returns. Most times a guy who newly practices game and plate spinning never really spins plates per se. He uses it for the first monogamous opportunity that's been eluding him for so long and calls it quits. He never actualizes and internalizes an abundance mentality. Spinning plates doesn't necessarily mean you're sleeping with all your plates. It's more of a spreading out of your efforts across a wider pool of subjects. Some will reciprocate, and those you entertain. Others will not, or prove to be less desirable, and those you let fall. This isn't as difficult as it sounds once you've established your own resolve to be non-exclusive. At some point, women will attempt to corner you into exclusivity, and this is where your resolve will be tested. Women love to say how they have rules. Well, you must have rules as well. This means not shacking up with a woman, not slipping into any routine with her, not calling her more than necessary to set up another sporadic date, saving your weekends for women who've proven it, and relegating those you haven't to Tuesdays and Wednesdays. This may seem like a lot of micromanagement, but once you've put it into practice it in as pragmatic a way as possible to accommodate your life, you'll find that the decisions you make regarding the plates you're choosing to spin will become automatic. If you feel that you have something to lose with a particular girl, you're no longer spinning plates, you're thinking and approaching dating in terms of exclusivity. Women would rather share a high-value man than be saddled with a faithful loser. A lot of guys have a big problem with the truth of this because they take it too literally. Never overtly declare that you'll be open to other options and that your girls should consciously be expected to accept this. Every woman takes this quote in this way, and with good reason. When it's on the table like that, it unsurprisingly becomes an affront to their pride and self-worth. However, in practice, non-exclusivity has to be covert. It needs to be implied and not declared. Thus you see the truth. Women's behavior will bear him out. Imagination and competition anxiety paired with implied non-exclusivity are the tools for successful plate spinning. Become the commodity she's looking for. A high-value man can spin plates, and sometimes those plates suspect there are or know there are other plates in his rotation. They'll tolerate it so long as he remains high-value enough, or hypergamy will move them along to another high-value man. As I state in plate theory, some plates fall off to be replaced by new plates. You must be willing and confident enough to let some of them fall. This is a tough reality for recovering chumps new to game to accept. Deprivation has conditioned them to hang on to a sure thing, and this becomes all the more difficult when the plate they happen to drop was the first woman they've successfully applied game to, or was prettier than any girl they'd previously been with. As I stated earlier, you don't have to have bedroom fun with every one of the plates you're spinning. This used to be called dating in the days before serial monogamy became the fashion. It's the potential in knowing that you could be, or that there are women who will value your attention, that prompts a competition anxiety in women, often when you don't even know you're doing it. If you're having bedroom fun with some of the plates you're spinning, so much the better, since you know that they're proven commodities, and if one isn't performing as you'd like, you have the unconscious knowledge that others will, or you have the proven ability to generate more options for yourself. So as I said, you don't necessarily need to have other options actively, but you need to know that you can replace the girl that you do have in case things go south. And again, things could go south at any time, right? So the girl could just decide one day that she's not interested in you anymore, and she wants to go to a new guy, and you need to be okay with it. You need to say, all right, cool, see ya, and you need to be already moving on to your other options. All right. When the child support finally hits your bank account. And then the girl's dancing.
Yo, this video really just pissed me off, bro. I think I speak for all fathers, and then somebody like me that's been paying child support for going on 8 years. You can eat shit. If you need child support to survive, you don't deserve custody of that child. You got fathers out here struggling, trying to make it, and then support their family that they have right now. Like, I understand it takes two to make a child, but bro, the system is designed for fathers to fail. Like, if fathers don't pay their child support, what happens? We going to jail. But what do y'all got to worry about? I get free shit, y'all get government assistance, all this other stuff just because you had a baby. But the dads, we this ain't nothing to be happy about.
I agree. I mean, he put it so succinctly, so clearly. Like, the world favors women in basically all things in 2022, and that includes having children, right? Like, before, in the 1800s, the man, like, if a divorce were to happen, and you have to prove that the divorce should happen by adultery or, you know, etc., like addiction, etc. But nowadays, that isn't the case, right? You can divorce for any reason, and if you get divorced, the children go to the mother, like 90% of the time. Before, like the children go to the father, right? And yeah, anyway, it's just a totally different world than what the world we used to live in, right? And the genie's out of the bottle. We're not going back. So again, how can I possibly recommend that a man marries and has children in the West, right? I just can't. You have to move to a different country if that's what you want. You have to go to a country where the laws aren't terrible, where you won't experience the same downfalls for, you know, just wanting to do what your biology wants you to do, right? Like, it's absurd.
In 18 years, there are 6,570 days. In 6,570 days, a father with a standard custody arrangement of 4 days a month, some holidays, and some standard visitation time during the summer will average 68 days a year that they get to see their children overnight. Think about that. That's it. 68 days a year. 68 days a year times 18 years.
Right, so basically a man's influence on his child is very limited, and as a result, we know that boys grow up with much worse outcomes. We know this as a fact. Children without fathers are more likely to go to jail. Women with like girls without fathers are more likely to end up on the pole, as it were, or to take illicit substances, etc. So, I mean, we know what the negative consequences are, but the laws are so skewed in favor of the breaking of the family that, like, it just makes it more and more likely to happen, right? And then you wonder why your culture is decaying. Well, it's decaying because, like, this is the choice that you've made, right? All right.
It's 1,224 days. You know what that equals out to? Missing from a child's life that you don't get to spend time with your child? 14.6 years.
Indeed.
So while you get to see them every other weekend, in reality, you're missing out on almost 15 years of their lives.
Indeed.
So when they tell the story, don't let them get it twisted. Did you really walk away? Were you really never there? Or did they just not allow you to be there from the beginning?
That's exactly right.
15 years is what they think a child can go missing from a parent being with their other parent.
Yeah,
on
that's
the standard every other weekend visitation agreement.
That's exactly right. It's again, so many men are walking away because they see the negatives, right? They see the dangers, the risks. They see these consequences of what can happen, and they're just avoiding the problem altogether. All right, let's continue. Oh, yeah, okay, interesting. I don't know why they would have the child on TikTok. Don't do that. All right, let's continue.
Hello? This is a collect call from Boston.
So I had a potential client that came in not so long ago and wanted to talk to me about a CPS case. She had popped positive for methamphetamines, and CPS then placed her children with their biological father. She had 2 children and one with each biological father. What she said that was disturbing was that her children were never in danger even though she used methamphetamines.
What?
I said, ma'am, as long as you use methamphetamines, your children are always in danger because you don't know what you could potentially do while you're on methamphetamines. The more disturbing thing she said to me was, I was a better mother when I was on meth.
What?
That was the absolute wrong thing to say to me because she left my office very angry with me when I said that it's impossible. You cannot be a better mother when you're on meth. Your perception may have been that you're a better mother when you're on meth, but that doesn't make you a better mother just when you're on meth. You can't, by definition, be a good mom when you're using methamphetamine.
I don't. Again, guys, no comment. This is an extreme negative case. I mean, we can. This is somewhere where we can all agree, right? Obviously, right? So, again, but it's amazing to me that some people would have the audacity to argue like the stuff that she argued, right? Like that's nuts to me. All right, let's continue. Yeah, we'll do a fake dating profile now. So again, these are not real. You can just Google these, but the point is we can even learn from these fake ones, all right? So this is Tina. It's funny because it's true. It's a poop joke. It happened to someone who sucks. You're tired and or drunk and you find everything funny. So again, what is the girl implying? She's implying that she's the type of person that gets drunk and then finds everything funny. So what is she further implying? She's further implying that, you know, go get me drunk, right? Like these are the, like, again, I don't like it, but I mean, there it is, right? 2022. All right. And here's another one. All unhappy girls are alike. Every unhappy girl is unhappy in her own way. My kind of unhappy is full of self-deprecating humor, double IPAs, and it's actually pretty rad. Let me know if you want to be miserable together. Yeah, that's a red flag. So she's 26 and she's miserable. The implication is that she's not going to be happy. And because she's not going to be happy, she will cause you problems down the line. Just avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. That's one of the laws of power. All right.
He blocked me. What a f***ing loser.
Good. And I hope more men follow suit. You guys, don't waste your time if there's obviously no interest. Really, TikTok?
Don't waste your time if there's no interest. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. He tells the girl that that more guys should block her if she's not showing them interest. She reports him, he gets banned, and she doesn't. She receives no consequence. Okay.
Calling guys losers is okay. But me tell them not to waste their time is hate speech?
Indeed.
This TikTok is only visible if you're a whore. So, congratulations, slut.
Okay.
Be honest with me. What is the real reason why you're single? I enjoy being single because I don't like being tied down. I don't like anybody telling me what to do. I don't answer to anybody. I don't even answer to my own parents. My mom didn't even know I was in Turkey until I was in Turkey.
Perfect. Isn't that so great? Isn't that wonderful? Strong, independent, rah, rah. You go, girl. Yeah. Every girl should be like this. Obviously, I can't possibly endorse that. Like, again, what she's doing to herself and her own life as a result of these things is something that hurts herself and every person she interacts with. And she's broadcasting these ideas to younger women who are listening and trying to do the same thing, which then destroys society by extension. So how can anyone possibly endorse this?
I'm not used to answering to anybody. I do whatever the f I want. I don't cook or clean for men. I don't like doing that.
Wonderful.
I travel. I'm spontaneous. I
Wonderful.
literally pick up and go whenever I feel like it. I dance as well, so a lot of people don't seem to be okay with that. Not that I give a f about their opinion. I pay all of my own bills. I have my mortgage payment. I take care of myself, so I don't have a need to have anybody else.
Right, so she's strong and independent, doesn't need a man, and then later on when she's, 30, she's then going to wonder where all the good men have gone, right? And when somebody tells her the truth, she'll call them haters, right? And they're in the wrong. Anyway, let's go to the article. I'm big and don't want to assimilate into diet culture, and no, I'm not sorry. For so long, I saw myself as a failure. Even though there were so many signs that I was already rebelling against diet culture, I denied them. Each time I ate cake or decided to watch Dynasty instead of exercise, my inner badass was saying, girl, this sucks. My badass inside my head won a lot, but I couldn't see those choices not comply as choices, only as failures. After breaking up with diet culture, I began to see that my body is this cute thing that comes with me to all the places I love, helps me do weird and amazing things, but my body is not the most important thing in my story, my choices. I made a decision not so long ago that I was going to stop dieting and stop hating myself and stop weight cycling and choose me rather than some culture of adherence that seeks to reduce me to a girl that straightens her hair so she can get a job she hates, come home and be with a husband she hates, to make children, to make dinner for children she didn't want to have. Okay, so this girl is strong and independent, doesn't want to have children, doesn't want to be with a man, so she's just given up. Okay, all right. I mean, your choice is your choice. Just don't complain when you're 35 plus that you can't get a man. Okay. All right. My big body lives in a metaphorical negative space or vacuum, the automatic space that has been left behind, the leftover space inhabited by those who couldn't make the cut. The culture is very invested in constructing this island of misfits as a space that no one could ever choose. My body is not seen as part of a choice I've made or something that's constituted by neither failure nor success. Okay, she's just saying gobbledygook to justify why she wants to eat cake and not exercise and not diet, and she's trying to rationalize why she then can't find a man. Cool, we understand. We don't need to continue this. All right. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, please hit the sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me further, I do have a Patreon with exclusive content. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Go there, subscribe to any tier, any level of support is appreciated. Really appreciate the time you guys have taken to watch my videos, especially if you've gotten to the end. Really do appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Thanks, guys.